The following program is a part of Black Squirrel Entertainment.
What celebrities have joined a singer's cause?
And Timothy Chalamet interviewed who?
Making Ken feel like Hollywood. This is The Blurb. Well, welcome back. I'm your favorite halftime show, Rocco Grassi.
And I'm your Chiefs kicker, Nick Keller.
Happy Super Bowl, post-Super Bowl Sunday. How you feeling?
It was a crazy game, dude.
Were you rooting for the Chiefs, or you just kind of wearing it?
No, this is literally the only football-related shirt that I had.
No,
so.
I get it. Well, we have a lot to talk about, but we'll be getting more into the Super Bowl later.
Yes, of course.
Starting off, Chapel Roan's conversation-stirring Grammy night speech upon winning Best New Artist has incited action from the music industry to provide artists with livable wages and health care. Charlie XCX and Noah Khan joined the conversation online, with both pledging to match Roan's $25,000 contribution for rising artists. After demanding that labels in the industry profiting millions of dollars off of artists should, quote, offer a livable wage and health care, especially developing artists, a controversy continued over a criticism of speech published by The Hollywood Reporter and penned by Jeff Rabon. Roan challenged Rabon to match her $25,000 donation to struggling artists. I'm inspired by you, Khan wrote in an Instagram story. Happy to help get the ball rolling. Money where my mouth is. Charlie wrote, hey Chapel Roan, I'm going to match your $25K to support the artist's access to health care. I saw Noah Khan say that he would do the same, and so I thought I'd follow suit. Your speech at the Grammys was inspiring and thoughtful, and from a genuine place of care. Happy to help get the ball rolling. Money where my mouth is.
I think it's always cool that Chapel's always such like a big conversation starter.
Yeah, she gets the ball rolling in a lot of conversations.
She really does. She really does.
Yeah.
Well, in other news, a Victorious spin-off series focused on Daniela Monet as Trina Vega is in the works at Nickelodeon. The series follows Trina as the newest teacher at Hollywood's most elite performing arts school. There's currently no release date, but we do know that some of the original cast is rumored to cameo, and that the controversial producer and writer Dan Schneider is not being connected to the project in any way. Monet's character is a fan favorite, and the announcement has led to an increase in viewers for the original series on Paramount+. We will be sure to update with any news.
Look, anything with Dan Schneider as far away from it as possible is great with me. So.
Yeah, true. And Trina was my favorite character in
That's fair.
Victorious.
She was a good one. I liked Robbie personally. But
yeah.
Well, speaking of controversial figures, as of Monday morning, after an unfortunately characteristic several days of posting wildly offensive stuff, controversial rapper Ye, formerly known as Kanye West's account, was listed as deactivated. It appears that West made the decision himself after spending most of Super Bowl Sunday ranting about Taylor Swift, Diddy, making anti-Semitic remarks, and even admitting that at one point he has hit women before. One of his last tweets read, quote, I'm logging out of Twitter. I appreciate Elon Musk for allowing me to vent. It has been very cathartic to use the world as a sounding board. It was like an ayahuasca trip. Love all of you who gave me your energy and your attention. Good afternoon and good night. West began the latest posting spree late last week, sending out the same kind of anti-Semitic stuff that got him banned from the platform in the past, along with other homophobic, misogynistic, and ableist posts. On Sunday, it appears that X finally took some action on West's account, with Musk classifying it as NSFW and limiting its reach.
Yeah, I remember it being Super Bowl Sunday, and I opened X, and I saw a tweet from Kanye saying that he was Hitler.
Yeah, it was a really bad week. And, glad it's been taken care of.
Yeah. Well, and some more cheerier news. Live from New York, it's SNL 50, the anniversary special. And the much-anticipated show is set to air next weekend, but not on Saturday night. The live 3-hour special comedy show will air on February 16th, one day after the late-night comedy show's first 1975 episode is slated to re-air on NBC. The special is scheduled to have appearances of big names, including Tina Fey, Will Forte, Will Ferrell, Kristen Wiig, Seth Meyers, John Mulaney, Pete Davidson, Andy Samberg, Kenan Thompson, Sabrina Carpenter, and more.
I'm excited for it. I always love it.
Me too. I think it's going to be cool.
Yeah, 3 hours is a lot of content. So,
yeah, I'm excited. I'll be seated.
I'm excited to see what they do live in New York.
Yeah.
Well, the people have spoken at the 2025 Critics' Choice Awards, which took place on the 7th, and had plenty to discuss. In the film department, Wicked entered the ceremony with a whopping 11 nominations, including Best Actress for Cynthia Erivo and Best Supporting Actress for Ariana Grande. Amelia Perez, which picked up 4 Golden Globes January 5th, tied with Dune Part 2 at 10 nominations apiece, while The Brutalist came into the show with 9 nods. And as for TV, Shogun was clearly a favorite amongst critics, leading the pack with nominees with 6 nods, including 2 for stars Anya Sahi and Hiroyuki Sanada in the lead actress for lead actor in drama categories, respectively. But Abbott Elementary, The Penguin, Hacks, The Diplomat, Disclaimer, and What We Do in the Shadows followed very closely behind the period piece, each receiving 4 nominations ahead of The Big Night. Some other big wins of the night include A Complete Unknown for Best Picture, Baby Reindeer for Best Limited Series, and Best Editing going to the Oscar-snubbed Challengers.
Glad to see Challengers is finally getting some love from critics.
What an incredible movie.
I love Challengers. You
That's
and I
a
went
great
and saw it
movie.
opening weekend.
Yes, we did. It was
did.
so worth it.
Well, Timothée Chalamet and Kendrick Lamar linked up ahead of the rapper's Super Bowl halftime performance to discuss their creative approaches, and a 3-minute black and white clip aired on NFL Network's Good Morning Football on Friday. The Oscar-nominated actor and Grammy-winning rapper drove around in a GNX, because what else, and got real about embracing failure and the importance of being vulnerable in art. After the two spent some time throwing questions back and forth, Chalamet revealed himself to be a fan of Lamar by saying, quote, "Just being a fan of your music forever and knowing, like, look where you're at, man, now. It's just crazy. Super Bowl halftime show, and you just keep climbing, bro. It's, like, amazing," end quote. This fun video proved that Chalamet and Lamar are the duo that we never knew we needed.
I have so many feelings about this Kendrick Lamar rising. And
Yeah.
we'll have plenty to talk about in this episode.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, speaking of Kendrick Lamar, did you guys see his halftime performance? Stay tuned to see Katie and I ask our fellow students what their favorite Super Bowl halftime show of all time is. Would you guys mind answering just a quick question for student media?
Hey guys, it's Nick here,
And it's Katie.
your wonderful associate producers, and we are here today to... What are we doing today, Katie?
We're asking random people what their favorite Super Bowl shows are, and I'm really interested to see what they have to say.
I know that we're pretty biased, so you know what? I don't think we'll be judging too hard, but I think we should have a good time.
I definitely know which one's my favorite, but we'll see. We'll see which one then.
Yeah, me too. So out of all of these Super Bowl halftime shows, which one do you consider your absolute favorite?
He watched us for the football.
Who was it? I think it was Rihanna. She was like flying.
Good choice. Good choice.
She was on like a platform. It was cool.
Yeah. What about you?
I might have to agree with him on that one.
Rihanna, very good choice.
What is your favorite Super Bowl halftime show?
Michael Jackson's.
That is such a good one. Thank you so much.
So out of all the Super Bowl halftime shows, which one do you consider your favorite?
I love the Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and who else is on it?
Mary J. Blige.
Yes, that one was so good.
Yeah.
I loved that one.
Yeah, that one's my favorite too.
Any of the Super Bowls for some reason.
There was
Usher, Rihanna.
Oh, I liked Rihanna's. I do
Rihanna's
remember that
really
one.
good too.
Rihanna's is a very good one.
I'm
of
excited
course-
for this year. I'm really excited for this year.
Yeah, I think it'll be really cool.
No, for sure. I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys.
Of course.
So, which Super Bowl halftime show that you've seen is your favorite?
I would say the Rihanna show.
That's a very good choice. Thank you for your time. Out of all of these Super Bowl halftime shows, which one do you think is your absolute favorite?
I don't know any of the Super Bowl halftime shows, so what are they?
There was like Rihanna. I think a couple years ago they had like Eminem and Dr. Dre.
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga. Michael Jackson.
Probably Lady Gaga.
Yeah, the Lady Gaga
Yeah.
one was really good. So,
Yep.
good choice. Good choice. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. What is your guys' favorite Super Bowl halftime show?
I think the one with Snoop Dogg that was like 2 or 3 years ago, him and Kendrick Lamar, that was a good one.
Rihanna's.
Those are such really good ones. Thank you guys for your time. What is your guys' favorite Super Bowl halftime show?
Rihanna.
That's such a good one. Thank you guys.
So, of the Super Bowl halftime shows, which one do you consider your favorite?
Rihanna.
Good choice. Good choice. I like that one too. Thank you. So, out of all of these Super Bowl halftime shows, which one do you think you consider your absolute favorite? I'll start over here.
I don't know. I don't really. I don't really watch Super Bowl that much either.
I like Shakira.
Shakira was a good one. Yeah.
I like Rihanna's.
Rihanna's a very good one. Yeah. My personal favorite was the Eminem and like Snoop Dogg one. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys.
Well, turn your TVs back on because we're here to talk about the Kendrick Lamar halftime show, as well as his huge year, featuring a handful of surprise appearances and Easter eggs. Let's dive right in. And speaking of surprise appearances, joining us is Anthony Leonardi, content manager of Everything Sports Corner for the Kent Stater. Anthony, great to have you here.
Yeah, nice to be here.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we just saw you on the Blurb and the Curve talking about Snoop Dogg's halftime show. Does that still stand after the Kendrick Lamar stuff?
You know, I don't think that was me, was that?
Was it not you?
I don't think that was me.
It looks just like
just
him.
like you.
Just looked just like him.
I got a clone walking around.
That's
Kent
real.
State then.
Yeah, how do we feel about the halftime show? Let's just jump
Loved
right
it.
into it.
Absolutely loved it.
Loved it.
I've witnessed like 13 minutes of peak, or however long it was. Literally just loved it. I was mesmerized.
I mean, you can't go wrong with Kendrick.
You can't.
You know he's gonna perform.
So I wasn't a fan.
That's
Not
fair.
gonna lie.
Okay.
I wasn't a
Okay.
fan.
Let's hear it.
Not the biggest fan. So my thing is, I like Kendrick's music, right? But the performance itself, I don't know. I expect a little bit
Yeah.
more out of the Super Bowl halftime show.
I think I felt that way like going like straight out of it because I feel like my bar was a lot higher just off the whim with it because of all the hype he's had over the year. That's like going into it. I feel like leaving it at least I was like, oh, that was it.
I think he could have used maybe like another performer there with him. I know he had SZA,
Yeah.
but she wasn't like a big part of it. Like when he was there for the one with 50 Cent and Dre and Eminem and Snoop, and they all like just having more star power around them definitely benefited because he was awesome during that one.
Yeah, because SZA didn't even come in for until like the last like 3 or 4 minutes. which
Yeah.
was a minute.
Can I be honest? I feel like he didn't really need an extra performer because we've been seeing because like the thing about this performance is like everything that's been going on in 2024 for Kendrick with the Drake beef, with GNX dropping, that was like literally everything that he poured on into the halftime show, and I feel like SZA was a good performer to have with because she was kind of pioneered in that, especially with something like Luther. And I feel like him having like other performers wouldn't really make sense, especially too with that message that he was going with in his Super Bowl halftime show with all the like symbolism and whatnot.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I will add on to Anthony's a little bit. I think there was something about it that was just a little bit awkward. There was a little bit of awkwardness to the performance, and maybe it came from the quality of the microphone as well. It seemed like his voice just wasn't loud enough to cover the instrumentals, you know?
I think a large part of that is he had a lot of his own like vocal backings, and a lot of that were just played over it, where it's like the original song from it. So I think it was it's interesting to hear like because it was a very like startling difference in like the live version versus like his real voice. Obviously, he's running the Super Bowl. He's like literally like singing live and rapping live. It's like it's not going to be studio version, but
I kind of wish that he would have brought back some old stuff. Like he had so many good albums that were put out years ago, but it was all kind of newer album songs.
Yeah, I guess it does make sense that he would play mostly stuff from GNX, but I feel like the other stuff he could have played were like stuff from like T-Pap or whatnot, because he played like Humble. And
but also a lot of the songs that he did perform, he also performed during his Super Bowl performance of I think 2 years ago when it was with Eminem and Snoop Dogg and all of that.
Yeah.
So I think it was good that he didn't have a lot of those hits, but I agree. I feel like something at least from like To Pimp a Butterfly, for example, would have been a really good thing to have
just
in there.
another one of those big hits that he's known for prior to the past few
Because
years.
GNX was good, but it wasn't like as like huge as like To Pimp a Butterfly or was.
I wasn't a big fan.
Yeah.
I think it was just a pretty basic West Coast album. There wasn't really too much new that was brought to the table. I mean, sure, he experimented in his flows and a little bit with the beats. I mean, anything is going to be good with Mustard producing.
Oh, absolutely.
But nonetheless, I don't think it was that outstanding, especially for a Kendrick Lamar album.
That's fair.
I will be honest, I do agree it's on the lower end of his discography. Like I didn't even think Section 80 is above it, but I still do love GNX like a ton.
Yeah.
And I feel like it made a lot of sense in the context of the Super Bowl as well. Especially too with like the political like agenda that he was going with in the halftime show. There was a lot of symbolism, like the flag dividing, Samuel Jackson being Uncle Sam. There's a lot of stuff about it that I absolutely love.
I think with what he did with the set design, I think it was a lot of really good quality storytelling, especially getting his point across. Because I think if he had just focused on digging at Drake the entire time, it would have kind of like missed the mark.
It would have been
especially
corny.
with all the political tension recently. It's like it was good to kind of have that like story, because a lot of his albums follow the ideas of like like American politics and like that struggle. So it's like having Samuel Jackson, for example, as Uncle Sam was, I think, a really fun like piece to it.
Who doesn't like Sam Jackson?
like
Right?
Sam
Right?
Yeah.
He's good. No, it's great. It was a really cool like addition. I think it was really fun.
Yeah, it's really cool to see a narrative like that, and you can really follow the story that Kendrick was trying to tell. And I think he did a great job with that. You don't always get that with a Super Bowl performance.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there's notoriously really bad like Super Bowls. I guess when it comes to it, like, are there like I guess obviously there's so many Super Bowls. Would you put this like near the higher end, lower end, mid tier? Like obviously.
I'm going higher end for sure.
Higher end.
I loved it.
Joe?
I want to put it really high. I really want to put it up there,
because it's Kendrick and I love Kendrick's music, but I would kind of put it maybe high mid-range.
Yeah, okay.
You know, I'm gonna double down. I did not really like it that much. I like Kendrick as a rapper. Maybe the performance I wasn't a big fan of. So I'm gonna say I could probably name the ones that I've been alive for and was able to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could put them in my top 10. I don't know. I just enjoyed some of the other ones like Coldplay and Beyonce.
Yep.
I loved the Lady Gaga one, and that was on one of the most like
Lady Gaga was
awesome
incredible.
Super
No, I
Bowls
agree.
that I've ever watched. So
And
I think that might be
is
what
that, like, you have
bolsters
artists
it.
like Katy Perry and Lady Gaga who are such like notable performers. Like that's what they do. They give their energy. Where it's like Kendrick Lamar is just a phenomenal artist, but he's not really as known for his live stuff. Where it's
right. So I think those live performer type of artists like Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, even the Weeknd's. His was crazy, but you know they're used to having big crazy performances. I think that definitely helps their case when it comes to the Super Bowl.
People like it a lot right now because it's Kendrick Lamar and he's been in the spotlight for a good year now. I think going down in a couple of years, it'll be one of the more not forgettable ones, but it'll probably be one that like we won't be talking about as much.
I think one of the issues that comes with having Kendrick Lamar perform at the Super Bowl is that he is a very lyrical rapper, and that's the focus of his music is the lyrics. So when you're in a concert setting like that, you can't really pay attention to the narrative of each individual song. And it's also, you know, he can't play the entire songs either, so that really digs into the quality of his music.
Yeah.
I will argue though that I will argue that he is like a good performer, but not in the sense that he like brings energy and is like, oh my god, it's insane, it's like all flashing. I feel like the basis of his performances is like with the detail that he puts into every single little bit of like what he does. I also love like even the overall like theme of it, like being like a video game like about America and how it ended with game over, because like he's literally saying, oh, this country is screwed.
Yeah.
I feel like that performance aspect of Kendrick is what I like, and that's why I personally like the Super Bowl as much. There are a couple that I do have above it, like The Weeknd, Michael Jackson, stuff like that, but I personally have it up there.
Yeah, no, I mean, the storytelling was really appreciative. I think for Kendrick Lamar, having the storytelling is a really, that's a big part of what he does for like live stuff. So it's like,
absolutely. I will say too, like the 2001 with like all the pop stars and whatnot, that is something I can't appreciate, and that's one of the things that are up there. But like this was a really different halftime show for me, and that's why I personally loved it a lot.
Yeah.
One thing I can definitely appreciate. Sorry. One thing I can definitely appreciate is that he held Not Like Us for the end. And it kind of kept that anticipation. He kept teasing it.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that if he played Not Like Us first, then it would have kind of taken a lot out.
That would have taken a lot out.
My absolute favorite part of that song is, "Hey Drake."
Hey Drake.
Looking right at the camera.
Dude, when I saw that, I was like, all right, we're getting the song everyone's waiting for.
Right.
But he just, the way he smirks into the camera and just all the little hidden stuff to just dig at Drake, he got the whole,
Serena Williams.
Oh my God, Serena Williams
to do the famous, A minor, like that, all that
and
stuff.
the crowd screaming it is
that was the loudest they were for his entire performance. So it was I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I can't knock him for. That was awesome.
For sure.
Well, hey Blurb, don't turn this TV off, because coming up right now, we have Sophia Sonato discussing the highs and lows of the biggest game of the year, followed by taking you back to the studio to reminisce on our favorite Super Bowl commercials.
Hey, did you watch the Puppy Bowl on Sunday? You didn't? That's okay. No worries. I'll talk to you about it. So, the 21st Puppy Bowl aired on February 9th, and it started in 2004 as this tongue-in-cheek kind of alternative to the Super Bowl for those that didn't really care about sports. This then evolved into this beautiful showcase of adoptable animals in hopes that they will find their forever homes. These dogs came from all across the country, one even from Nicaragua. There were 142 animals present throughout the entire event, and all of them were adoptable at the time of filming. Typically, a lot of these dogs do find their forever homes by the time it airs, but they will also showcase the specific ones that haven't found homes by the time that it airs. These dogs are typically puppies when they play in the Puppy Bowl, but there are also senior coaches like Ladybug this year, as well as other senior animals that are available for adoption. This also includes dogs with special needs like the Three-Legged Trio, who got to participate in this year's festivities. These dogs come in all shapes and sizes, from the smallest little Chihuahuas to even a Doberman, and they get to run around on a football field. The premise is simple. You have a toy, and the goal is to get that toy to the designated end zone. That's a touchdown. There are money penalties in the Puppy Bowl, and they are puns on the NFL as much as you can think of. Pause interference instead of pass interference, rough sides instead of offsides, and a dog collar tackle, which happened a lot this year. There were multiple times in the first half alone where dogs were grabbing each other's collars and just dragging them across the field, and it makes for very funny content as well. There's a water bowl that's inside the field for them to, get some water, take a little rest break. Sometimes those dogs will sit in the water bowl or they'll just hog it. That's another penalty. And there are also separate penalties like whining and napping, but the napping is not very common. They like to show dogs that are sleepy. There is at least one instance of a dog doing its business on air because it's funny. They try to show that these dogs are just doing their thing, walking around, having fun, playing with toys and playing with other dogs. That's simply what it is. They're all very well taken care of. There's a human assigned to each of them, and longtime referee Dan Schachner is a doll with all of them. Anytime there was a penalty, he would hold them, or like with the bigger dogs, he would like pick them up by their chest and their hind legs would still be on the ground. Very, very cute. Something else that needs to be mentioned is the Temptation skybox that was part of this. They would cut to these kittens that were playing up in the little sky lounge watching the game, even though you can very obviously see the green screen, as well as there was a kitty halftime show where there was a big old perch that was one of those cat trees, and cats would just be sitting on it playing with their kind of toys, and the lights went down and everything. It was very, very cute. All in all, I think the Puppy Bowl is such a great alternative to the Super Bowl because not only do you get to watch cute puppies run around and play with toys, but you also have the opportunity to see which of these dogs are still adoptable. If they're anywhere near you, how you can get involved, because I personally believe that adopting a pet rather than buying one is a very ethical way of finding a furry friend. All of my animals have been adopted, including my cat Honey, so I think it is a very good cause, and Animal Planet has done a really good job of upping the ante to show off so many pets that can find their forever home. Except one year they had penguins loaned to them from the Columbus Zoo. Those were not adoptable. Honey, you should at least act like you want to be in the video. I literally was talking so nicely about you, about how I adopted you, and how we have so much fun together, and how much I love you. Can you say hi to the people? She loves me, I swear. She's actually purring right now. Did you love getting adopted by us? Yeah, I know you did. Even though you scratch me all the time. Okay, that's enough.
Turn off your ad blockers, because right now we are talking about the greatest Super Bowl commercials to ever have aired. Whether it's avocados from Mexico or that one where Eugene Levy's eyebrows started flying around, I have with me 3 people who wish that there was a skip ad button for the football parts of this annual athletic event.
I would like to say I have 2 commercials that stand out to me, one that I love and one that I hate. The one that I love is the Glenn Powell one. Where he's in the truck and he's driving around with the kids and the bears. He's Goldilocks, and I loved it. I was a big fan of that one. I hated. I forget what the actual commercial, like the ad was, but it was like the tongue concert thing.
It's right. It's behind Joe.
Oh, is it? Oh, Joe. Oh, I hate it. I'm so uncomfortable.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh,
no.
that's not a good image right there.
No, it was.
You can look at it. Yeah, I'll stand. In front of it. I'll protect the viewers
Oh
for
man,
you.
I also hated this one with
I liked the Harry Met Sally one.
Is it Harry Met Sally, or was it the one where she's like moaning in the diner?
Yeah.
Yeah, he loves that. Of course. That's his favorite.
It's a good movie.
It's a good movie. It's a bad commercial.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny. I don't know.
That's fair.
Maybe I'm sentimental about Billy Crystal again.
That makes sense. No, yeah.
Maybe
It
I
wasn't
don't
my
know.
cup of
Maybe
tea.
just because they're together again. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I did hate the seal one. That one scared me.
Yeah.
The Mountain Dew one.
Yeah,
Really
that's
scary. It reminds me of Cats, the movie.
Yeah. Anything singing with like CGI'd faces on animals is a no-go. It never goes right.
It's worse than Puppy Monkey Baby.
See, they brought back Puppy Monkey Baby for Instacart this time around, which I think was really cool. They brought like a touch of like food related, like not controversial. Nostalgia, yeah, but yeah, it's like Jolly Green Giant, stuff like that. Kool-Aid Man. I thought that was kind of fun, a little poke at it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I was jump scared by the Puffy Monkey Baby.
Yeah, I guess it works. I mean, it brings your attention to it. We just don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Mountain Dew had. Oh, I guess the Mountain Dew one was also the seal. They do animals a lot.
Yeah, what's with that?
Mountain Dew, stop it.
Yeah, please just no more of that.
Last, what are your favorites? I mean, honestly, if I'm being 100% honest, I did not watch the commercials this year, so I
kicked out.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to go. I mean, I can talk about some of the previous ones. Like I remember there was a lot of chatter about I think this was last year, the one where Jesus is watching, like the foot washing one, be a Christian, wash people's feet commercial. I'm sure that's the exact message they were going for, the wash people's feet. I remember that got a lot of attention, and then and then this is just a personal nostalgic moment. In 2016, I remember losing my mind over the Pokemon Go commercial because that came out like the summer after like that Super Bowl. And I just remember being like, oh my gosh, there's a Charizard in real life, guys!
Okay, but did you Pokemon go to the polls?
I was too young to go to the polls, unfortunately. I
Why would you say that?
I Pokemon went to many places.
Why would you do that?
I think about that a lot.
Oh, me too.
Why'd you make me think about it?
I do too, but I was unfortunately 13, so.
Yeah, I was around there too.
I don't remember seeing the Eugene Levy one with the eyebrows, but that
I don't think I saw that one either.
I heard a lot about it.
Yeah, essentially his eyebrows turned into some sort of animal and started flying on.
Oh, was it the Pringles ad?
Yeah.
Oh!
The mustache.
Yeah, with
that.
What's his name having the mustache?
Yes. Yeah. That was a fascinating idea. I wasn't
fascinating.
Yeah,
That's a word.
It doesn't beat the Peanuts. I forget what the brand is. I always forget it. But where he died in the car crash.
Planters.
Mr. Peanut.
Planters.
Oh
Mr.
my gosh,
Peanuts.
wait, like the baby peanut?
Yeah. And
That
he
was
died
so
in the
weird.
car crash, and then or he sacrificed himself or something, and
Traumatized him.
as Peanuts do.
Yeah, just normal occurrences.
And then he reincarnated, stargazing
Baby Peanut.
as a baby.
Life went on.
That wasn't that when like everything was getting like a baby form? There was like Ice Age Baby, because like Baby Yoda, and everyone was like making like a baby version of their
there was a
mascot.
whole baby.
That's
Oh,
true.
I guess it was. I didn't think about
The
that.
second baby
Right.
boom.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you guys think that Super Bowl commercials are getting better or worse over time?
I think people love nostalgia and therefore hate on anything modern.
Yeah, it's like the same, sorry to bring it up again, but it's the same thing as Pokemon fans. Like, people just, you like the things from when you were younger because that's when life was easier, because you didn't have to, like, have a job.
Yeah.
Because you were a child.
Yeah, because like nowadays I watch these Super Bowl ads and I'm like, oh, I wish I could afford that. I didn't have to worry about that when I was younger.
When you're a kid, you're like, I'm gonna ask for this crazy.
I wish I could afford
just think
Instacart.
Also, what was with Matthew McConaughey being in like everything?
I
He was
kinda
in like
liked it.
so many.
Yeah.
No, I love Matthew
I love it,
McConaughey.
yeah.
He was in like so many. Where did he come from?
Same with Tom Cruise. It's just so
I didn't see him
just
in any.
recycle
He did
actors.
A stunt.
I mean, that's kind of what actors do. They have to be in multiple things. So,
That's
like,
true,
I
that's
guess
true.
maybe not that many.
But for the entirety of the show, I don't know about that one.
Think about how much money they made from that. Because like you know how much those things cost, like to make. So how much of that like is
I remember,
from
I think it was
the
a year or two ago, they had this really inspiring one. It was a super like motivating, like talking about like the world and like how we're gonna grow and change together. And it was a crypto ad.
You know what I'm thinking of the Kanye Yeezys ad.
Oh, that's
I
right.
was just gonna say that.
I know Vinny wants us to talk about that one. Yeah, Kanye
Spent
West
all
did
my
that.
budget on filming on the iPhone.
He did that this
He
year.
did that this
I
year
know,
and last year. Yep. That's a pretty. I mean, it stands out.
You
I
know
gotta
what's
say.
really bad about that? You know what was on the website when you went to it at that point?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a little German hate symbol, huh?
Yep. Why would they film with an iPhone? I mean, aren't like Google Pixels much better in terms of cameras?
Yeah, Kanye West.
That's even more controversial.
Okay. I don't think it's controversial. They just have better cameras. Apple is not known for
Does
cameras.
Apple do Super Bowl? I don't think they do Super Bowl ads.
I have no idea.
I think they played the one with like where the cameras have wings.
They presented the halftime show.
Oh, I guess Apple Music. But you don't do
That's true.
commercials.
That's true.
Oh, that's true.
That is odd. I feel like I used to see Apple commercials like all the time.
Yeah. But I feel like it's like they're also like big enough so you don't really need it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Geico.
Everyone like yeah.
What happened to Geico?
Wait, they're not. They didn't do one.
Did you see the Geico commercial?
I I didn't watch it, remember?
Anyone?
I didn't see one.
I didn't see any.
But you know what? I would include the Geico, the gecko, in one of my commercials, even if it's not for Geico. I think he's just
You
such a
have to
great,
just pay
cute
them so you
character.
can have it in your thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Can we, I feel like as the Blurb, we should have the Geico gecko.
We should have a knockoff
we should
gecko.
feature him.
We should
Surely the royalties would be very cheap.
Exactly.
We should have like a.
I want Timothy Chalamet and Pete Davidson doing the rap from SNL.
We can do that.
Promoting my product.
We can make that happen. What is your product?
I don't know.
Oh, you'll figure it out.
I'll figure
The
it out.
Geico gecko.
The Geico gecko is your product.
That's the product.
Geico gecko.
So you get money back from the warranties we lost from buying the Geico gecko.
Exactly.
So
We're
just
gonna
me
save
and-
15% on that.
So true.
Or more.
Well, now that the previews are over, I'm gonna pass the remote to Nick to help us find the best sports movie to watch when you don't feel like keeping up with all the football statistics.
Well, howdy. We are back for yet another Behind the Blurb, the only show where we've got all the Cavalier fans on deck. Speaking of Cavalier fans, you're about to meet a Cavs fan that is probably the biggest one you know, especially on the show. So please welcome Brian Metzel.
Sup?
Stop.
Hey.
Hey.
I don't know how to follow that up.
Well, welcome, Brian. How you feeling? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. It's a great night tonight.
Heck yeah. I'm glad to see you. You know, as I mentioned, you're one of the new people on the show. And, you know, with you being a big sports fan and a big broadcast fan, you just had to join. But, you know, with that being said, I have some questions for you regarding the show and whatnot.
Fire away.
I will fire away. So, with you being brand new, I wanted to ask how did you discover the Blurb and what made you ultimately want to be on it?
If I'm going to be honest, and I'm being very honest, guys, he's the answer. My best friend. But seriously, though, after you recommended ASG, I figured why not? Throw it in a little bit, and hey, we're here on Blurb. It's a good time. It's good old Hollywood in Kent, and we talking movies and songs. We got a lot in common, so it's good to be here.
I mean, the hat and the shirt speaks for themselves.
We actually went to see Styx last summer.
Anyway, you know, with that being said, I wanted to ask, between, I guess, Blurb and ASG, just throughout your time in student media so far, what would you say is your favorite moment?
Oh, that's a tough one. Oh, how do I put this? I mean, when we had our practice episode, obviously I was dressed in Harry Potter. I had my Ravenclaw robe on, and I was doing good old Ravenclaw and Harry Potter jokes. But if I'm being fair, filming those funny moments on ASG was also funny.
I know you like your fair share of celebrities, so if you were a celebrity for a day, who would you be?
Elaborate on celebrities. Does it have to be like a professional artist, a basketball, or any sports player?
It can literally be anybody famous to any degree.
Oh, that's a tough one. Oh, well, if I'm gonna put it in simple terms, I guess I don't know. I'm trying to think. That's actually a tough one. I don't know, actually. It's really hard. I'm going to just simplify it down to Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell?
Yeah, keeping it Cavs-wise.
So, say you got $20 million, just no tax, none of that, and it was in your possession, whether it's in your bank account or in cash. What would you do with it? Like, what would you spend it on?
Oh, 20 milli. Well, I guess I'd say give a little bit of those to charity because everyone needs help in the LA wildfires. Of course, anybody who lost their belongings or family, heart goes out to you. But I'd start by, helping them. Everyone always says, I'm going to get a mansion. No. Big house? Maybe. But mansion? That's too much. Like, for one person, that's, what are you going to do with all the space? I need 3 rooms. A recording room, a bedroom, and a bathroom. I mean, that's nice. And it'd be nice to have, like, a big house. And maybe a Lambo and or Ferrari would be nice to drive around. Just cruising around the streets, be like, hey, I got a nice car. You want to ride?
Brian Metzel, everybody. We'll be right back for more programming.
So let me preface this conversation by saying that I was a theater kid that never played sports. Therefore, I don't really follow them all that much. But you know what I do enjoy? Movies about sports. That's why I've gathered a few of us here today to discuss our favorite sports movies that fuel the true American spirit inside all of us.
Air Bud.
Oh, Aaron. Wow, what a way to start. What a way to start that conversation.
That dude took on so many sports, and he won all of them.
Yeah.
Man.
I literally haven't
And
seen
started the
Air
spin-off, like Air Buddies, Snow Buddies is one of my favorite movies that
Oh,
I watched
I like
growing
Spooky
up.
Buddies.
Oh, okay.
But that's irrelevant, because that's not really the sports.
Spooky,
but you know what
it's sportsy.
It's tangentially related.
it is.
Doge.
It's in the Buddy Cinematic Universe.
Yes.
The BCU.
The BCU.
I was just about to say
The
that.
BCU. Did you say Doge? Doge?
Yeah, Doge, like a dog. It's a meme.
Oh.
I'm aware.
Memes rule the world.
Well, yeah, I know what the Doge is, but
Oh.
I was like, was it a movie?
Oh,
I was-
no.
Not a movie.
Well, I want to start off by talking about challengers a little bit.
Yes.
I think you and I might be the only people that have seen it at this table.
Has
I've been meaning to. Now that's free on Prime. Like, now Prime 8 free.
Yeah, now you have no excuse.
Yeah.
I've heard
Now-
a lot of things about it.
You'd think that a movie about tennis would be incredibly boring.
Sorry, Zendaya is
No.
staring at us.
No.
I heard she
No.
was
So good.
It's so good.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
Rack
love-
on it went saw it opening weekend, and he didn't really know what he was walking into. And I was like, "Hey, do you want to
Did
go see a
you?
movie?" No, I did. It was Luca Guadagnino, the guy who did Call Me by Your Name.
Oh, that's fair.
So I was like, "Oh, okay." So I knew it was gonna be crazy.
Oh, God, how crazy it was.
You left the theater starstruck.
It was well, because you know what I still think about. I think about the tennis ball scene because, for if you guys don't know it, they had a scene that they shot where it was a tennis ball, and essentially the camera was just a tennis ball, and it was following back and forth, and it would pan and rotate between.
The camera was the tennis ball.
Okay,
Basically,
so that's
and
why
they were
Dan
hitting it
Howell
back and
said
forth.
that he wanted to be the ball they were smacking around.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I know about this movie is that he described it as a, quote,
Yeah.
slightly bi-curious movie,
Yeah.
unquote.
I think a big thing about like I'm glad that the movie wasn't overly sexual.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
I know a big meme of it was like was that scene of it, but
Now-
I'm glad that it wasn't like the whole movie was just like, you know.
Really quick, I do want to say some of these are pretty recent, like challengers, and then a couple other ones on the list.
Oh,
So
yeah.
let's try to avoid spoilers as much as possible.
That's fair. Yeah.
Because I know challengers just came out last year. So.
That's real. Yeah,
But
that's-
you guys have been fine, so I'm not like worried about it. So.
Oh,
I want to add
Air
one
Bud.
thing. There's one thing I do want to add, and this is just casual. You guys know Space Jam, right?
Of course.
Of course we know Space Jam.
I'm familiar.
Yeah. Well, obviously, you know LeBron came in the second one.
Yeah, I didn't like the second one.
I mean, it is what it is, but if you had to choose between the two, it'd be between Michael Jordan and LeBron, between the two Space Jams. What would be your guys' thing?
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, Michael Jordan. He's the OG.
I still find it funny that the poster says starring Bugs Bunny and Michael Jordan. That's
In
really
order.
funny.
Isn't
Yeah.
it, though?
In order
But
of
In
it's
most screen time, yeah.
Most.
I mean, but is it not the truth?
No,
That's true.
like who's the real star of the show?
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny, just a kid from Akron.
Where's that guy?
Have you guys seen Remember the Titans with Denzel Washington?
I have not.
Oh, that's such a good movie.
I'm
So
like
good.
vaguely aware of it.
So good.
I know who he is, but I've never seen the movie.
Yeah, no, I watched it like forever. I think I watched it for like in like school one time. Like they played it for like during like movie Friday or whatever, or like it was for a holiday or something. And I was like, this is a really good movie.
What sport was it?
Football.
Football. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Touchdown.
Exactly. Then we had the Rocky and Creed movies.
Growing up, I was never into like sports movies per se.
Same here.
So, but I think Rocky was one of the first like real sports movies that I had watched growing up when I was younger.
Yeah, I remember my dad put it on at a very impressionable age.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What year?
He started wrestling.
Kind of felt that's boxing, first of all.
I lied.
Iron
Whoopsie
Claw was
daisy.
wrestling.
What year?
Ah.
What year?
Oh, I don't know.
What? Rocky?
Yeah.
80s. I think it was like 19. Actually, I think the first one was like 1979.
It was like the cusp.
Yeah.
VHS.
The first for each.
I've seen all of the Rocky movies, but I have not seen any of the Creeds, and I know that that's insane because I hear they're
know.
so good.
No, I've been meaning to watch the Creed ones.
Because I know Michael B. Jordan directed the last one.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
No way.
and he starred in it, which is
Yeah.
really cool.
Well, because like they're like very like because they're connected, right? Like obviously.
Yeah, so it's like so you remember I think it's Carl Weathers. I think was he played Apollo Creed.
Okay,
in
yeah.
Rocky, that's his son.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, okay, heck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody got any other favorites they want to talk about?
This is like the first one that came to mind, and honestly kind of the only one that came to mind, but I have like a pretty strong memory of like my parents like sitting me and my sisters down and making us watch A League of Their Own, and going in I was like, this is boring, I hate this, but then I like watched it and I was like, you know what, actually, like, women's sports are kind of fun. That was a joke. I support women's sports, and I enjoy that movie a lot. That was not the reason I was
That's the baseball one.
Sorry,
yeah,
it's
great.
Okay. I just thought of one. Shout out Jenny for this one. Happy Gilmore.
Oh,
I watched recently.
Happy Gilmore.
Okay.
I've heard many things about it.
Yeah. They're making a sequel, I think, coming out in a year or two.
I think it's this year.
Is it this year?
I believe it's this year on Netflix.
I watched that one, I think, last year.
That's
it was
a golf
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, golfing.
Okay.
Adam Sandler was also in The Waterboy.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Football movie, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I think my dad will disown me if I don't mention Caddyshack because golf.
Caddyshack,
I've not actually seen it, which I'm going to say that that's a failure of my father and not me. Because it's one of his favorite movies.
Call out.
I'm just kidding, Dad. I love you. But see, look, I'm shouting out one of your favorite movies. Yay. He thinks it's really funny. I haven't seen it, so I can't give an opinion, but I respect his sense of humor, so I can probably endorse it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we couldn't just sit around talking about movie touchdowns all day, but we have some special guests that actually know things about sports that want to chat with us. Stick around, because up next, Katie and Spencer are going to be diving into the fashion side of our tremendous athletes.
All right, guys, so I am joined by one and only Spencer, and I am Katie. We are going to be breaking down the tunnel looks of the different players from both the Chiefs and the Eagles coming into the Super Bowl.
I'm mostly looking for like how the players are organizing their clothes, like the style, the color coordination, maybe the cut or the tuck of different things, how it's shaping their body, that kind of thing. Credit where credit's due. We are on Women's Wear Daily. This is their digital article, Super Bowl 2025 players arrive in statement pregame tunnel outfit. So the first one that we're going to be talking about, first player, is Travis Kelce.
I really like it. It really gives 70s.
Mhm.
It gives like the cut of it, the length of it. I really like the big necklace with the open button shirt.
I really do like that you mentioned that because the collar is very flattering. When you have like a suit, how you style it is really important to like, is it going to be casual? Is it going to be formal? Is it going to be laid back? I really like the bedazzlement. I really like the gold touches. You can see all of the accents are gold. The bag matches the shoes. He gets a 9.5 out of 10 for me.
Oh, 100%. I love it. It ties all together. Like, honestly, I think I'm going to go 10 out of 10. I think it's like a really good outfit. I like the shoes are a statement. The jewelry that he decides to use as a statement.
All right, moving on, we have Saquon Barkley. And this is probably going to be controversial for a lot of people, first of all, because, you know, it's obvious what he's doing here. He's wearing denim on denim. A lot of people don't like denim on denim. I happen to love denim on denim. I love denim on denim.
However, I do have a critique with this outfit. Maybe this is just me. I don't like the dark shoes with the dark denim. I prefer like more of a dark brown or like...
I fear I agree with you, and I want to raise you one. I have a problem with this outfit, and it's the bag. I feel like the bag is not doing anything for me. It's not the same color blue. It's not the same material. I think that for a pop of white on the shoes would have been great because it would have matched his collar. I would give this one an 8.5 out of 10.
Ooh, I think I'm gonna drop to like a 7.5 out of 10, solely just because the shoes.
Next is Devonta Smith. I really like this. I'm loving this. The bag is in the way in this picture, but it almost looks like a pantsuit, which to me is very, very demure.
I really like this. I like the shape of it. I like the class. Like using a buckle like that and having it come across instead of that like classic like open coat.
Yeah.
I feel like really adds a lot to it. And again, it's that gold on red. Being able to, you know, see the texture of the bag. I feel like this is everything that we've been complaining about with the last couple of outfits kind of like fixed in a sense.
It's asymmetrical. I like the way it cinches the waistline just a little bit, but I don't really like the look of this clasp. I think that maybe a chain ornament would have looked better, or even just like a simple brooch there. But because you have this decal right here or this logo, you can't really use a brooch. I'm gonna give it like a 7.8 out of 10.
I think I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I really like just the fit of, makes him seem taller. It makes him seem, like in this like more powerful. I feel like you said it's very demure. I very like the clasp. Like I hear what you say about the chain, but I really like those like pops of gold.
Next player we have is AJ Brown. I love like a little like twist of corporate, but it's funky and it's like streetwear kind of. This is that. The jacket with the bag, because it's like, oh, but the bag doesn't go with the jacket.
Yeah.
That's what makes it cool.
I think that this is, like, hear me out. I don't know what temperature of take this is. This is one of my more favorite outfits.
This is one of my more favorite outfits. This is true. It's not ridiculous.
I really like the texture. From wearing a leather jacket with the leather pants to like the boots, like the embroidery like around, like actually having that like highlight little pop of color on the boots, to having the bag not even like it's leather, but it's like it has a different texture to it.
There's a lot of very popping colors: the white, the green, the yellow, and the red, and the unifying color is the black. And it's all over, like there's touches of black in everything, and even then it's like having such bold colors is cool, but wearing these cool pieces with confidence is really what's selling me.
Yeah, and another thing, like a little bit of like undertones too, them being able to use their team colors. Like AJ Brown plays for the Eagles, so we get that little pop of green in there. We have like that Travis Kelce plays for the Kansas City Chiefs, so we have that red and gold. So it's, they're representing their team also within their outfits. So it's like you show like, oh, I'm on this team, but I'm also showing their like individuality.
Kind of like pride, but on the individual level in what you're doing. I really like that, like embedding your work into the fashion. That's what it's all about.
I think I'm gonna give it another 10 out of 10. I'm sorry, but I am. I have like 0 critiques on this outfit.
Just because right now Travis Kelce is my standard with the highest rating, and I don't think this is beating Travis Kelce right now, I'm gonna give it a 9.2.
Overall, how did we feel about like the tunnel looks that we saw going into the Super Bowl?
I feel like the tunnel looks were first of all, they were very diverse. I mean, you see people wearing like sleek, you see business wear, you see flowy silhouettes, you see really rigid silhouettes, boxy silhouettes. You see casual, you see dress to the max.
I agree. I really like the pieces that we got to saw. A lot of unique things. I like that they didn't all look the same. I like, especially like, gonna go back to Travis Kelce. I feel like Travis Kelce was my favorite look out of this one.
Oh, absolutely.
I like the not being afraid to wear stuff that men don't typically wear. Having different cuts, being able to wear different types of shoes, like being able to wear like bold colors, bold patterns. I really like those. That's what draws me. Textures, patterns, layers.
Of not being afraid to try different aesthetics, experimenting on what you think looks good for your face, your hair, your body type. What colors complement you. The red looked amazing on him. The hair was really complementing everything, and the gold looked amazing. I loved it.
I agree. Well, overall, we got to see a bunch of cool different outfits from the Super Bowl.
Sports and pop culture is some of the most influential pieces of pop culture in the industry. But we have a feeling to truly appreciate the idea behind these, we thought we could use a little help from an expert. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you've met him already, but we're introducing the legend once again. Joining us here on the Blurb from the Kent Stater is a very special guest. So please once again welcome our sports content manager, Anthony Leonardi.
Well. I don't know about legend, but I appreciate it.
I consider it. I mean, you are absolutely wrong on that. You are a legend. Your opinion is wrong on that. Anyway, tell us about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm the sports content manager, as you just said. So basically, all that really means for me is I'm in charge of making sure we're going and getting coverage for not just the broadcast side, but also the print side. If you go and look on the website, you'll see a whole bunch of articles that are awesome. Reporters write for us at almost every home event, and a good chunk of those ones that are away, even though they can't be there for it, they're still putting out that work. And then on the broadcast side, I'm basically just in charge of everybody who is doing a sports block. So just making sure that they're doing the things that are most meaningful to our target audience, which is the Portage County viewers. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of just it. We love sports around here, so I mean, it's something that I really enjoy doing.
Absolutely. All right. Well, what are some of your favorite pieces of pop culture in sports or just in general, if you want to?
So that's a loaded question. My favorite thing is touchdown celebrations.
Nice.
So you see, I mean, the Gritty, right? Everybody knows the Gritty.
Jay Jettis.
Justin Jefferson, like you just said, Brian. I mean, he just does so much, celebrating because he's always in the end zone. So it's just got so popular, and now he's got the rest of the league doing it. So stuff like that.
What about you guys? Anything pop culture for sports? You were going off about how you know a lot, so I'm interested in what you have to say.
About the sports half, but to be fair, I mean, I can't go wrong with like other parts of pop culture when it comes to it. Like Anthony said, touchdown dances are a big part of it, but I have to say, like, if you guys probably know AJ Brown. I'm wearing his jersey, and he was part of the Eagles when they won the Super Bowl. Shout out to the Birds. Thank you for dethroning the Chiefs. And AJ Brown actually was doing this thing where he like ignored everybody and just had like the book title actually answered the questions. And shout out to Bleacher Report for making Gridiron Heights, because that definitely referenced it.
Alrighty. What about you, Nick?
It's really stupid sounding compared to what you two just said, but I always get really excited as if I'm there. I like seeing celebrity appearances.
Oh yeah.
At like big games
That's
and
fine.
stuff, especially the Super Bowl, because they showed specifically like Tina Fey and like Paul Rudd at the Super Bowl the other night, and I got excited. I'm like, wow, look, they're just like us.
It's them.
That's not stupid at all. I got so excited when I saw LeBron at the Ohio State National Championship.
Yeah.
I mean, that made my night.
Go Buckeyes.
Almost more than the Buckeyes winning the thing. I love LeBron, so.
That was going to be my mention of like pop culture and sports. LeBron James, just in general, he's a great person, really funny guy. Everyone calls him their Pookie Bear. He's my Pookie Bear. I want to say LeBron James is my Pookie Bear.
Josh reference.
I don't know he said that.
If you know, you know.
Alrighty. Well, is there anything at all that you want to mention other than that?
I mean, one of the things in pop culture, like you guys were talking about earlier, with sports, is those movies. Like my heart was breaking every time I heard someone say they haven't seen that movie, because I was like, no.
Yeah.
That was like my childhood was just watching a bunch of sports movies. Mm-hmm. So I love that part too.
I know you guys know a lot more about sports movies. I didn't really hop into that discussion, but I know you know a lot.
No, actually, believe it or not, it just started last year, like in 2023. Beforehand, my mom was trying to get me into sports for years. Never worked. She whistles. I know it's a finger whistle. I don't know if that's the actual word for it, but she would do it, and it would blow my ears out. I have very sensitive hearing, and then. To be fair, at the time, Browns sucked. They kind of still do. But, hey, Andrew Berry, if you're watching, fix it, please. Get Will Howard and Jack Sawyer out of Ohio State. Very needed. But, yeah, I mean, it wasn't until last year when my roommate actually got me because of Madden. And then we just collabed a little bit. And then, obviously, NBA, but I know this is more NFL talks. And, yeah, after, like, 6 months, I just knew it. And then I studied names, and then... here I am. I just know a lot more about it. My parents are like, where's this kid been?
There you go. I think one thing I do want to mention, like pop culture and sports in general, it's something that I personally like to hate on, but I know a lot of people like it. It's like Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Not gonna lie, it gets me so mad just seeing it. And this year was like especially satisfying to see them crumble too. Cause like I love how like last year, yeah, exactly, lose. I love how like last year there were a bunch of like shots of like Travis Kelce and like Taylor Swift like being excited, but this year you just saw like Travis crying.
Just sad, just pure
like
devastation.
There were at least 10 shots of him, and he just looked absolutely devastated, and it was so funny to see.
Her just like they're showing her just sitting in the stands, just being like, "Can I go home?" Like
there was like, we gotta show shots of Taylor. Can they stop? Can they stop?
And then they made it better.
Then they made it better
because they showed Anne Hathaway. And
Yeah.
I went
Thank
nuts.
you. Yes.
I went nuts.
I actually, it was like spotted. I mean, you guys know Rio, right? The movie Rio. Yeah. Anne Hathaway is the voice of Jules.
Yes, that's true.
That is very true. I was gonna mention something.
Also, so many other roles that I love Anne Hathaway. Big fan of Anne Hathaway.
Big fan of Anne Hathaway. Thank you for showing up to the Super Bowl. Is there anything else in general that you guys do want to talk about?
You know, I will say that Super Bowl, I'm a big football fan. My first sport is baseball, but my second one, love football.
Yeah.
That was one of the most boring Super Bowls that I've ever seen in terms of like a quality football game. I like a nice like close game. I'm not a big fan of the blowouts, but as a hate watch, because I can't stand watching the Chiefs.
Yes.
It was the best game ever, dude.
Very, very successful hate watch.
It's stuff like that like, I don't know, as a football fan, I'm a little weird like that. Like I just can't stand like those crazy mind-blowing blowouts, but like at the same time I hate the Chiefs so much that I'm like, I needed that to happen.
This is probably the biggest exception ever.
Yeah.
Exposed. Thank you, Philly defense, specifically Cooper DeJean. Rookie season, pick 6.
Birthday pick 6.
Yes, thank you.
I did want to mention something because there is a little like pop culture thing related to Cooper DeJean. I remember someone made a Michael Jackson parody of Cooper DeJean. It was the song with like, Cooper DeJean is not a center.
Wow.
It's just a corner. That's one, you're number one.
I love that. Was it a karaoke?
Yeah, the karaoke live performance. I don't know if you guys know that video, but it is one of my favorite things right now.
Go check it out.
I've never seen it either.
I have a quick little pop culture thing. I forget who it was, because I'm literally blanking right now. Abbott Elementary had like an episode where they had one of the Eagles players like on the show, and I'm hoping that because they won, they're gonna make an episode about it.
Oh yeah.
I feel like they'll be really fun.
Oh, Saquon?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of great things about, you know, two big giant things like pop culture and sports just coming together, and it's really cool to see like a bunch of things to appeal like to a bunch of people, and that's why I think this moment right now is especially special, especially after the Super Bowl too, because it's like we get to like come together and celebrate a whole plethora of different stuff rather than just one thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's all the time we have from the Blurb and KSTV Sports for you tonight. Be sure to follow the Blurb on Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel at BSC to Blurb. And to see more of our beautiful faces and get more of that celebrity by tuning back next Tuesday at 8 p.m. for more Hollywood at Kent. And Anthony, where should people tune in to Sports Corner? That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, so on Sports Corner, we have those Monday nights at 8 on KentStater.com, and we have the show Overtime, which will air at 7 on YouTube on every Friday.
Alrighty. Thank you very much for showing us that. It's been the Blurb and Sports Corner. Have a great night, Portage County.
Hey, did you know that 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Go to theshelterpetproject.org and search your local shelters and rescues. Go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Go. You feel good about that? No. I'm looking at it right.
And yellow today, feel free to use orange, feel free to use green, feel free whatever you want to do. These are what I have in my refrigerator.
Students, especially those that are in CCI fondly enough, are going to be visiting there quite often. But does their reward program
OMG, it's McGruff.
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff, the crime dog. No, he's a fake. Oh.
I am McGruff, the crime dog. He is the fake. And so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. You're smart. Buy smart.
We know you work hard. So come spend your lunch with us at the Bistro on Main. Make your breaks count at the Bistro on Main, where friends become family.
Solo stage where the player spends most of it being hunted down by Infinite. The weapon that performed the best here was the Drill Wispen. Its ability to...
He finally is like, I get it now. I get it. I have worth because I'm me. Yeah, and I really liked it a lot. Like, I'm not...
What are you staring at? How do you know it's me? No.
You think you're just checking your messages or telling a friend you're on your way. They could be the last words you ever type. Make sure you get where you're going.